Okay, good morning. So I have decided to continue my docuseries, and it's been very heavy on my heart the last few weeks that I haven't done this. But yeah, this is docuseries 2, just documenting my life and experience. Um, maybe it can help someone. You know. Anyways, so this week I'm gonna be talking about you know I want to say dealing with stress, but it's not really that. So, in the last few weeks, I've been trying to expand the hospitality side of things in our business, and that has fallen to me. So, it's been a wild ride, even though it's just been how many weeks in the year. It's been such a wild ride. I'm learning things that gaining new skills. That's the way I'll put it. I think that the um not shying away from this is giving me the opportunity to expand my own capacity, because some of these things I'm doing for the first time, some I've done once or twice before, others I'm just, taking every single punch as they come. And, you know, this is why I say, entrepreneurship is very interesting because it's very interesting. Just take it like that. So, please don't ask why I'm doing this video in the dark. I have the capacity to overthink, and when I overthink, I do not go ahead and do. And done is better than perfect. So I said I was gonna, do this, and I'm doing it, documenting my experiences. So, um, done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Okay, just at that moment where you're saying something, but you're speaking to yourself, and it's resonating, right? Anyways, today I'm looking forward to doing if my first town hall with the hospitality team. Um, we're growing, things are changing very rapidly. A lot of balls in the air, transitionary times, and we're in project mode all at the same time. There are roles to be filled. There are places to, and and this and your private life doesn't stop. Your private life continues. There's work ball in the air. There's private life in the air. There's spiritual life in the air. You must juggle. You must juggle because you're an adult, and that's the stuff adulting is made of. And you cannot complain. You can't. You just have to figure out a routine and work as much as possible to be efficient with that routine. I think that that's the discipline that's toughest to get. Working out a routine and sticking with it. Because every day is such a different day. Most of January I was in firefighting mode. Now in February I'm trying to balance things out. That's not without help. That's not without help. Um, well, I guess it's what it is, and take every, what's called punch in the chin. But I'm learning. I think the greatest lesson I've learned recently is to follow your gut feel. That one I learned in January. To just follow that. It it may seem like it's unfounded. There may be no logical reason why sometimes. There may be more logical evidence in against this feeling that you have. But by God, do what your heart desires. Do what is in your that if you have a strong thing in your mind, in your heart, in your soul that you can't sleep, you are is it's turning you over and over, you better do it. You better do it, because I think that the pain of the regrets that you would face not doing it, even though the world is against you for it, is worse than standing up to everybody and saying damning the consequences in the immediate. So look, if something is in your mind and you feel like you have this gut feel and you feel like, oh, this project or whatever is not, do it. Done is better than perfect. In the end, chuck it to your human and you made a mistake if it doesn't go well. That's a learning curve. Don't be afraid to make... I'm talking to myself right now. Again, I'm talking to myself. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to sin as imperfect. To be seen as imperfect. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable and let people know that you're flawed, because you are, and it's okay. It's okay to be flawed. It's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to have moments of weakness. It's okay to doubt. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't dwell there. Don't stay there and feel like the world is against you and blah, 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 blah. Everybody's going about their business. No one cares. Like, not in not an insulting way. It's just everybody is full of complex opinions and ideas and experiences and traumas and life that's going on with them. And if they spare you a moment of thought, maybe, but it's just a moment. Don't take that as the fundamental thing that makes your decisions for you. I think that is something to hold on to, because you have to be strong-willed enough to survive in this world. You have to know that sometimes it's the stubborn that survive. Only the stubborn that survive. And even if people call you stubborn, it's okay, because there's a reason, and it's not stupid stubbornness. It is just being stubborn enough to stand your ground, to follow what you believe wholeheartedly. So I'll give an example while I'm wrapping this up. Sometime in December, I remember having a conversation with my partners, and this conversation lingered. And you know when you just don't want to fight, you just don't want, not fighting like fight, but like have a conflict, have a disagreement. It was Christmas period, for crying out loud. Everybody was festive. And of course, this was about money. And I remember, the basis of what we're talking about was fundamental, more than the amounts, and it was the principle behind it that I was focused on. And if you set a precedence, you know that people can refer to that precedence, and you look stupid if you revert and say, oh no, we're not doing it again. And sometimes it's necessary, but again, room for improvement, right? So I stood my ground and I said, hey, call me stubborn if you wish, call me unmoving if you wish, tell me that, oh, I don't like to process new information on the spot. That's okay. But you see, this one, I believe it so strongly. It was based on fact. It was based on clarity. I had a very clear mind. I was not being emotional. I was not being sentimental. It was clear where I was coming from. And I tried to keep reiterating that I'm trying not to be emotional about this. And I'm clearly not being emotional about it. This is the principle of this. If you set a precedence of this particular thing, you will need to carry it on. It becomes unsustainable to do this in the long run, and it has implication. Unsustainable practices have implication on morale for staff, on trust in the system, on expectations that are being dashed. So I said, pardon me. So I said, all of that. It took maybe an hour or two of back and forth, literally, We were not talking, we were WhatsApping. Do you know what it takes to be WhatsApping for an hour? Long, you know all those messages that you type, long messages like this. That's the type. And because right now, you know how siblings have conflicts. That's how we can have conflicts now. You are. I trust in the fact that this conflict is not going to break us. I trust them to understand that even if we're in this place where we don't agree or see eye to eye, we will be fine. We'll come out of it stronger. Do you see what I mean? Before, maybe not, but now. So I think that's also the maturity that comes with, being in something or doing business or growing, maturity generally. Anyways, back to my story. I think at the end of the day, it wasn't about convincing. It was about helping them to understand from my perspective and see the light in what I'm saying without being sentimental, without raising my voice, without being disrespectful, because those things are very important. And in the end, apologies flew left and right, and there was no fight. And that was something I was so proud of, because I was very proud of it. Because I think the reason why was because, in the past, I would probably have caved and said, let's just do it the way, everybody wants to do it. It's fine. That is fine. That's caused more problems in this world than it should. It's fine. Okay, let's just do it. It's fine. This one was not fine. I knew it wasn't fine in my spirit. I stood my ground and I helped them see very clearly and I think at the end of the day, it was okay. It was okay. There were no hard feelings. And so this is the reason why I'm telling myself and whoever may watch this video, you have to stand your ground. You have to have something you believe in so much, something that's fueling your passion, something deep in you that you know that, hey, if I don't get this thing out before long, it will overwhelm me, it will consume me. And you can't be at peace to produce and be effective with your job or your business. So get it out. Do what you must, I don't know what it is, but And if it's speaking to you right now, then you must do what it is that's in your mind. As long as it doesn't hurt anyone in a damning way. Because sometimes our decisions, even though we don't want to hurt people, our decisions make an unsavory situation for others. And it's for the best in the long run. If it's for the best in the long run, you must do it. Yeah, so I think I had that burning desire to just, again, my windows are open, so you will hear all the sounds of my neighbors and the neighborhood. I had that burning desire to just put this out here and just come on here, show my face, evidence of life, and share. And by God, I'll do it more often, because this one is one of the burning things in my soul. It's like a fire that is not going away, and it has been there for a long time. And I have contemplated, building this sort of small studio in my office, and having a routine, and look, that curation is tiring. It is. I think it's the one thing that makes me even more tired, because preparation, then lights, camera, action, shoot. You know what? I'm just gonna do this docuseries because it doesn't matter how it comes out per se. I say that very carefully. In terms of look and feel, what's important is that the message comes across. What's important is that I am fanning that fire in my soul, and I am by doing this. And it doesn't have to be lights, camera, action all the time. So when it is lights, camera, action, welcome it. Appreciate the effort. Oh my goodness, I'm cracking myself up so much this morning. So yeah, it is February 6th, I forget, 6th, 2014, and I've done my second docuseries for the year. I have so much more to go that I don't even know how I'm gonna, keep up with it. But hey, take it as it comes, okay? All right, later.